أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome everyone to this class. We have stand up on time, so jazakallah for that. Again, just a quick reminder, if you are not signing in with your correct ID, please make sure you sign out and then sign in with your assigned ID. Also ensure that all your videos are off. If they are turned on, the discipline in charge will put you into the waiting room. A real quick reminder of etiquettes are that Tifl should have their heads covered, and so should Nasirat have their heads covered as well with a scarf. And I hope before joining the class, all of you did wuzu, inshallah. And with that, let's start the class. So, if I can please have a student to help me with the starting prayer.
The student to start is N1216.
Assalamu alaikum, N1216.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
Fine.
Good, alhamdulillah. Can you help me with this prayer over here?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي علمني ما هو خير عندك.
Very good. And can you do the translation as well for me, please?
Oh my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge. Tazkira.
Very good. Jazakallah. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to finish off the Waqf revision that we did before we moved into the recitation of the Holy Quran. So I know you started this off yesterday in your lesson yesterday, so we're just going to finish that off. Can I please have another student? Assalamu alaikum. Can I please have another student discipline?
The next student is N1203.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Alhamdulillah. So you're going to help me with this case, okay? So it says here that there will be no change in recitation if the last mutaharrik letter, you know what a mutaharrik letter means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It means I think a letter with a stroke. Yeah, letter with a stroke.
Yeah, that's correct. Was that a mutaharrik letter is a letter that has a stroke.
Auntie,
G?
I think another student's unmuted because I wasn't saying anything.
You weren't saying anything. Okay, just give me a second. So discipline in charge, I'm going to mute everyone, and then if you can unmute the student that was unmuted just now, okay?
N1203 that was.
Okay, can you please, have you unmuted her?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, so sorry, we had someone else on mute as well. So, do you remember what a mutaharrik letter is?
I forgot.
So, a mutaharrik letter means a letter that has any kind of stroke on top of it. Now, that stroke can be a vertical fatha, kasra, dhamma, or it could be a normal fatha, kasra. So, it can be any type of stroke, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so it says there will be no change in recitation if the last mutaharrik letter, so at the end, if the last mutaharrik letter carries a vertical fatha or vertical kasra, even if the next letter is blank, is a blank here, okay? So, for example, here you can see You've got an ayn with a vertical fatha, and you've got this ya at the end, okay? The ya is blank, it has no stroke or any other sort of sign, right? So you look at the letter before, which is the ayn, and it says here, if that is a vertical fatha, if that letter before, which is the ayn in this case, carries a vertical fatha or a vertical kasra, then there will be no change in pronunciation. So that means if you wanted to do waqf here at the end, you would actually not have to make any sort of change. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So do you want to have a go at saying this for me? And then first say it how you would say it normally, and then show me how you would do it if you were to do waqf here.
Yes.
Very good. And if I was to do waqf, what would I do? How would I do it? Do you need help?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, is what it says here. So you read it. That's perfectly fine. So what I'm saying now is imagine that you're going to pause here. You can do waqf. Okay, waqf means to pause and to stop, right? If you are going to pause, how would you read this? So okay, I'm trying to there's actually going to be no change. So how you said it just now, how you recited it just now, is exactly how you would recite it if there was a full stop here, if you were going to do waqf. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So so when I say to you, imagine you're doing waqf, you would still say yes.
Yes.
Good, well done. Have a go at this box here.
Yuhi.
And again, if I was to do waqf, how would I do it?
Yuhi.
Very good, because in this rule, no change is being made. So if you do waqf or don't do waqf, you say it the same way. Okay, so that was I was trying to confuse you there, but that's the rule. Okay, Jazakallah for your help. Can I please have another student for case 9?
Yeah, the next student will be A1110.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, A110. Walaikum assalam. How are you?
Okay.
Good, alhamdulillah. Okay, so will you help me with case 9? So it says here in this type of waqf, it says here that there will be no change in recitation if the word ends on a letter of elongation. So do you know what elongation, what the 3 letters of elongation are?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, ra.
No, there's only 3 letters of elongation. Try again. What could they be? Yeah.
And wow.
Very good, well done. And they're written here as well, so well done. Those also, it says there are 2 types of elongations. So there could be the alif, ba, and ya, and also the huruf al-lin. Okay?
Okay.
Which is the vowel and ya anyway, so that is covered in here. So if I asked you to read this one here, how would you say it?
Kafaru.
Very good. And if I said to you, you're pausing here, there is a full stop here, how would you read it then?
Kafaru.
Very good. Well done. Excellent. So you remembered that there is no change, so you read it the same way. Try this one for me.
Banaha.
Very good. And if I'm doing waqf then?
Banah.
Okay. Yes, very good. Because remember, there's absolutely no change because the last letter here is a letter of elongation, and we've been told that if the last letter is a letter of elongation, which alif is, then there is no change when pausing. So it says here, similarly, there will be no change if the last letter already carries a sukoon. Okay?
Okay.
So if you were to read this and you're doing waqf here at the end, how would you say this?
واذكر واذكروا
Very good. واذكروا.
واذكروا
Very good. And this one?
ربي
Very good. And this one?
شبلي
Try that once more for me.
شبلي.
Very good. Well done. Do you know what mistake you made last time?
No.
As a U. So let's highlight that. Do you know what this ya is?
Yeah.
What is it? What type of a ya is it? Very good. Very good. A ya madda. So that means that you have to make the ba sound long for 2 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the first time round, I don't think you made it long enough. So that's why I asked you to say it, read it again. Do you want to have a go at this one?
Which one?
This one here.
Sabili.
That's good. And this one that I've highlighted just now.
I can't see the arrow.
Oh, let's just give me a second. I'll change it. Okay, can you see it now? The hand. Can you see the hand?
No.
Here. Okay, so do you want to try the box after the one that you just did? So after Sabili, what's the next one?
Can you zoom in on the slides? That might make it easier.
Okay, just give me a second.
There's a zoom button next to the hand.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That's slightly better, yeah.
Let's try making it a bit bigger. Yeah, can you see this now?
Yes.
Okay, so can you have a go at this one?
Jalaha.
Very good. And this one?
La da sa sa.
Okay, so say that once more for me.
La da sa.
Okay, so very good. Do you remember what's happening here? Do you remember the name of the rule?
Lean.
Very good. This is a vowel lean. That's why you pronounced it like this. Well done. Excellent. Do you want to have a go at this next box?
Qutilat.
Very good. And this last box here for me?
Uzlifat.
Very good. Well done. Jazakallah. Thank you for your help. Okay. Let's
Whoa. Are you proud?
Okay, so what we'll do, can I please have another student for this slide?
Hello? Hello?
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
It's still the same student, I guess. Do you have a question?
No, I'm not unmuted yet.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
You need to give us a second for that.
Right. Right. The next student will be A1106.
Assalamualaikum, A1106.
Assalamualaikum.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking. So, can you help me with case 10? So, I'll read out the rule for you. It says here that if the second last letter is a sakin letter, then it must not be pronounced with a harkat while muting the last letter. So the word will be pronounced with 2 last letters muted in succession. So, for example, what it's saying is, so the last letter has a harkat, that's fine, but it's saying if the letter before that has a, so as you can see that Jim has a sukun on top of it, okay?
Yeah.
So what's saying is, if you were to stop here after the Ra, then the Ra will also become silent. So the Ra and the Jim will become silent, so you will hear a silent sound of the Jim and the Ra. So have a go at saying this normally, and then after that have a go at saying this if you were to do waqf here, like applying the waqf rule.
والفجر.
Very good. And if you were applying the waqf rule, do you know how you would say it?
I think.
Have a go.
والفجر.
Very good. Well done. Did you see how your Jim sound was muted as well as the Ra sound? That's exactly what it means, okay? So well done, that was excellent. Have a go at saying this one with the waqf rule.
شهر.
Shahr.
شهر.
Well done. Have a go at this next one here.
أشهر.
Ashr.
أشهر.
Good. And this last one here.
أمر.
Amr.
أمر.
Yeah? So it's like you take the tanween sign away and you add a sukun on top of the ra as well. Isn't it? That's how the sound comes if you're doing waqf. Do you want to have a go at this bottom line as well? Over here.
والوتر.
Wal watr.
والوتر.
Good. And this one?
يسر.
And this one?
مع المصر.
This is a ayn.
مع العسر.
Usr.
عسر.
Well done. And this last one here?
بالصبر.
Well done. Well done. That was excellent. Jazakallah. That was very good. Well done. Allah Hafiz. Okay, so these are more examples of doing waqf, but I know we've covered this before in the lessons. So what we'll do now is we'll move on to the Holy Quran, and inshallah your waqf rule will be applied there. So let me just scroll down to today's lesson. I believe you reached, or you were going to start verse 72. There we go. So I think you reached up to there, so but what we'll do is we'll start from here again. So can I please have a student? Assalamu alaikum, discipline in charge. Can I please have a student?
Sorry, I was having issue with my mic.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah, the next student is N1202.
Assalamu alaikum, N1202.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking. Do you want to have a go at reciting this verse?
Yes.
So start from
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة ذلول تثير الحرث ولا تسقي الحرث.
Okay, do you want to? Okay, let me first go through this line. So a few things were after the lam there is a alif, and do you know what type of alif this is?
elongation.
Good, good, well done. So that means you have to make it long, the lam sound long for 2 seconds. So, tulla, 2 seconds, okay? Tulla, okay? And same goes here. Again, this vowel is also a mud letter. So, again, the lam sound here should be made long for 2 seconds again. So it should be lu, 2 seconds long, okay?
Lu.
Very good, well done. And just one thing here, it's better and correct to say this as da. So this is a dad, yeah? So I know sometimes or people used to refer this as za, but this is not a za, this is a dad, okay? That's the correct way of saying it. So da,
Arzo.
da, the sound.
Ardo.
Very good. So like, you know how you've got the thing, it's kind of that type of a the sound. So da.
Arzo.
Not as a sound, the sound. Da.
Zo.
Good. And also here, because this is a long verse, it would be good if you did waqf here. So if there is this sign over here, that means you can pause if you want to, but you can also join onto the next verse. But the thing is, because this is so long up to here anyway, it's more advisable that if you've been given the option of pausing here, that you do pause. And if you're going to pause, so if you're going to stop here because you're out of breath or you can't make your breath longer enough to go any further, the correct way of doing waqf to pause is to the rule is that this fatha sign will become into a sukun, so it would become harth.
Harth.
Good. Okay, so the fatha sign turns into a sukun sign because you're doing waqf here. Okay, you're stopping, you're pausing to take a breath, and then you start with your next part. So let's start from here.
Musallama. Tulla. 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 Shiyata. Fi. Kal. Fiha. Kalul. Ada. Tabil. Haki. Faza.
Okay, just a second for me, sweetheart. So again, there is here this full stop, okay? Can you see the star sign here?
Yes.
Yeah. So that means you need to pause here. You need to do waqf. So the correct way of doing waqf, if you've got any sort of fatha kasra or dhamma on the end letter, so the last letter before the full stop, so the letter of pause, so that is sta in this case, the letter, so that fatha kasra or dhamma sign becomes a sukun. So if you imagine this qaf having a sukun on top of it, do you know how you would say it then?
Hak.
Very good, well done, excellent. That's exactly right, well done. So continue from here.
Fazabahu hava bakadu yaf'alun.
Well done, Jazakallah, that was very good, Jazakallah. Can I please have another student for the next 2 verses?
Yep, the next student is A1106.
Assalamu alaikum, A1106.
I think we already have him. Can I choose a different one?
Yes, you can.
Sorry, didn't realize. Yeah, next student is A1114.
Assalamu alaikum, A1114. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, can anyone hear me?
I can hear. I don't think he
The student can.
on the mic.
If you can please choose another student then.
Right, the next student is A1118.
Assalamu alaikum. A1118. Um, good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good, alhamdulillah. Okay. Do you want to start from where I've highlighted here?
Okay. وَإِذْ قَتَلْتُمْ نَفْسًا فَزَارَعْتُمْ فِيهَا.
Okay. Let me just correct you up to here. This is a dal. I think he said it as a dal. A dal would have a dot on top of it. This is a dal, so it should be fadda. Okay.
فَدَّا.
Good, well done. And can you see there is a ya here? This is a ya mad, okay? And do you remember how long a ya mad sound should be?
1 second.
No, 2 seconds. This is a ya mad. A mad letter is when you have to elong the sound. So you elong the fa sound because there is a ya mad after the fa, okay?
Okay.
So how you would say it is fi. I made the fi sound 2 seconds long.
في
Good, well done. Do you want to continue from here?
والله جنتم تكتمون.
Okay. Do you want to try saying it from here again? So from here, where I've highlighted just now.
جمعة
Say that once more for me.
جمعة.
Okay. So can you see this meme has this mushaddad sound? It's the meme mushaddad. Yeah, this W-like
Yeah.
sign. Can you see it? Yeah. So that means you have to join this with the jim. So this meme you have to join with this jim, and when you join it, you have to stress it. Okay. You're connecting this jim with this meme. Okay. So that means you have to stress the sound when you're joining that. So that means so the correct way of saying this is Jumma. Can you hear how I stress?
جمعة.
Yeah, Jum. Can you hear the m sound? Jumma. That's what the stressing is, okay?
Okay.
And just say this part for me again.
كن
Good. I thought before you might have said something else, but that's fine. Do you want to continue from here?
Yes. فقلنا نضربوه بالبعض.
Okay. ببعض. It's better to say this as a dot. So ببعضها.
ببعضها.
Good. Keep going.
كذلك يهدي الله الموتى
Yeah.
ويريكم آياته لعلكم تعقلون.
Okay. Say this part for me again. So say it from here. Here where I've just highlighted.
يحيي
Good. Okay, so I thought you said something else there, but that's fine. Say this part for me again.
Yuri.
All the way to kum. Say it up to there.
Yurikum.
Okay, so again, this ya is a mud letter, okay? That means when this comes, the letter before, which in this case is a ra, needs to be made long for 2 seconds, okay? So you can't say yurikum because there's this mud letter, okay? That means you have to elongate the ra sound. So the correct way of saying it, this is yurikum.
Yurikum.
Yeah, can you see how you made that ra sound 2 seconds long?
Yes.
Okay, say this up to here, this highlighted part.
La'allakum.
Okay, so this lam, what does it have on top of it? What signs does it carry?
Afata.
A fatha. And how long is a fatha sound?
1 second.
1 second. And you've made it much longer than that. So it should be la'allakum.
La'allakum.
Yeah, can you hear, did you hear how this lam sound was only 1 second, okay? So maybe you might have done this because there's a shadda on top of the lam, but so when stressing that, it's la'alla, okay? L sound, that's the stressing, that's for 2 seconds, but the la sound is just 1 second. So la'allakum.
La'allakum.
Good. And do you want to say this highlighted part now? On the ta?
Tahkilu.
Yeah, this is the ayn, okay? So it should be ta'qilun.
Tahkilun.
Good. Jazakallah. Well done. Can I please have a
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Can I please have another student for the next verse?
Next student is N1207.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah for that. Do you want to start from where I've highlighted?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم قست قلوبكم من بعد ذلك فهي كالحجارة رقي أو أشرتي أو أشد قسوة.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, stop. Okay, so there's a few things I want to point out before we move forward. ثم قست, okay? I think what you did was you gave the ta a qalqala, okay? It's wrong to get, so what you said was qasat, okay? I think that's what you said, if I'm not mistaken. So if you say qasat, you're doing qalqala on the ta, and you can't do that because ta is not a qalqala letters. There's only 5 letters of qalqala, which are qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal, and ta is not one, so that's a mistake. So make sure when you say this, it's qasat, not qasat. Yeah, so no jerk or anything, just qasat. Do you want to say that?
قست.
Good. Here, fahiya, what sign does the ya have?
Fatha.
A fatha. How long is the fatha sound?
1 second.
1 second. And yours was far longer than that. So just make sure that this, so what I realized, you were doing it in rhythm, and maybe because of that you made it a bit longer. You made the ya sound long, but you have to make sure you don't do that, because if you make the ya sound long, what you're doing is really is changing the translation, the meaning of the word, okay? So make sure you don't do that. So fahiya.
فهي.
Good. And here kal, what you did was kal. That's incorrect. There is no need to do that, because this is not, there is no mud here or anything. There's no reason for that. So it should be a quick 1 second kal, not kal. That's incorrect. So maybe again this was because you were doing it in tune or something, but make sure that this is just 1 second kal.
Kal.
Okay. Hijarati. This is eta. I think you were reading this as something else. But hijarati.
Hijarati.
Yeah, good. Again here, aw ashaddu. Your alif was far too long. This should only be 1 second. So maybe when you do it in tune, what you need to try and do is, so for example, there is a haruf al-lin here, yeah? This aw. This is where you can make the voice a bit longer, and this is where you can make your tune nicer. So you could go aw. You can make that long, but you can't make this alif where there's a fatha long. So aw ashaddu.
Aw ashaddu.
Yeah, and then qaswa. I think the same thing here. You might have made the qaf sound long. Just remember, fatha kasra dhamma, you cannot make them longer. If you do make them longer, what you're doing is changing the meaning of the words, which is wrong. We can't change the meaning of the words of the Holy Quran. Okay,
Qaswa.
very good, well done. Continue from here.
وإن من الحجارة لما يتفجر منه الأنهار.
Good. Just give me a second. Again, the start here, hijarati. Make sure it's 1 second long, and again here, so yatafajjaru. So the first time when you said it, you made it long, but you corrected yourself. That was really good. So, but well done. So keep going.
وإن منها لما يشقق فيخرج منه الماء.
Okay. So here, what you did again was you made the sheen and qaf long. They should be 1 second long. Yes, they do have a shad on top of them, and that means when you join them, you have to stress the sound. So that means it should be yashaqaqu. Okay, can you hear how when I'm joining the two sounds, I'm stressing. I'm making sure that I'm stressing the sound when I join the two words together. What I'm not doing is saying yashaqa. That's wrong, okay? Because that's making the sheen sound long, which is incorrect because the sheen only has a fatha, as does the qaf. So it should be yashaqqaqu.
يشقق.
Good. And fayakhruju. Again, you made the jim sound long. It has a excuse me. The jim has a dhamma, and we know fatha kasra dhamma all are 1 second long. So what you did is make the jim sound long. So make sure you don't do that. It should be fayakhruju. Good. Well done. Continue from here.
وإن منها لما يهبط
Yeah.
من خشية الله.
Okay. So you've realized the ta you made long, so you corrected yourself. But this ya again you made long. So it should just be a quick 1 second. Khashiyati.
خشية.
Good. Keep going.
وما الله بغافل عما تعملون.
Well done. Very good. That was very good. Just make sure that you don't prolong your fataka and dhamma. That was the one thing that you need to focus on, okay? Otherwise, it was really good. Well done. Jazakallah.
Excuse me.
Ji.
You know about the Nazm we're supposed to do tomorrow? Can more than one person do it?
I don't think so. It's. Have you sent your recording?
Not yet.
I don't think more than one person can do it.
Okay.
It's only one person because we have to finish in that time slot that we have within that 1 hour. So we'll just have the normal tilawat, someone do tilawat, nazm, and then the concluding session.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Can I have the next student, please?
Yep, next student is N1219.
Assalamu alaikum and 1219.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good, alhamdulillah. Do you want to start from here?
Okay. أفتطمعون أن يؤمنوا لكم وقد كان فريق منكم يسمعون كلام الله ثم يحرفونه من بعد ما أقلوه وهم يعلمون.
Very good, well done. Just one thing here when you started. Do you know this thought is there is a certain rule applied here. Do you know what rule that is? Do you remember?
No.
So because the thought has a spoon on top of it, this thought is is part of the qalqala letters. Okay, there's 5 letters of qalqala: qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal. Okay, if they have a spoon, then they become a qalqala letter, and that means when you read them, you have to give them a soft jerk. So how you would do that is you would say afatato. Can you see to? Yeah, so I'm giving the to a little jerk. Yeah? Do you want to try saying that?
أفتطمع.
Very good, well done. Do you want to continue here?
وإذا لقوا.
Very good. Let me just move down. So la qulla.
كل الذين آمنوا قالوا آمنا.
Very good, well done. Just one thing, you are right. You're doing extremely well. Well done. Just the qaf. The qaf is a thick and a round letter. So make sure when you read it, instead of saying ka, because there's 2 types of qaf. Okay, there's this qaf and there's the normal kaf. Okay, so make sure this qaf, it's rounded. So when you read it, say qalu, make it round. Instead of saying kalu, say qalu.
قالوا آمنا.
Very good. Keep going.
وإذا خلا بعضهم إلى بعض قالوا أتحدثونهم بما فتح الله عليكم ليحجوكم به عند ربكم.
Okay, just give me a second. Just wanted to point out a few things. This, hey, can you see this? It's a dot. So when you said when you read it, it sounded a bit like a za. And you might have been taught it that way, but the correct way is actually to say it dad, okay? So بعدين قالوا. So not zin, this is not a za, this is a dad. You have to make sure that so these are similar sounding letters, but you have to make sure that you differentiate them, okay? So this is not a za, it's a dad. بعدين بعدين then. Yeah, good. And then here at the bottom here, this her has a, what is this on top of it? It has that's fine. I can remind you, it's got a mud, okay? So that means that you have to prolong it. Yeah, very good. So how would you say it from here up to here? Very good. Well done. So ليحاجوكم. Very good. Do you want to continue from here?
أفلا تأكلون.
Very good. Jazakallah. Excellent. That, mashallah, well done. That was really, really good. Mashallah. Keep practicing. That was very good. I'm very pleased. Jazakallah. Can I have another student for the next two verses?
Yeah, the next student is A1125.
Assalamu alaikum, A1125. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Can you please come a bit closer to the mic? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you want to start from here?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أولا يعلمون أن الله يعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون.
Well done.
ومنهم أميون لا يعلمون الكتاب إلا أماني وإنهم إلا يكذبون.
Very good. That was very good, mashallah. Excellent. Just one thing is that there is a mud here, okay? So just make sure you prolong this lam, okay? Illa. Good. Well done. Otherwise, that was very good, mashallah. Well done. That was excellent. The only thing I can say is keep practicing, because that was excellent. Inshallah, with more practice, you'll become more fluent. So that was really well done.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Can I please have the next student?
Yeah, N1224.
Assalamu alaikum. N1224.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Do you want to start from here?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فويل للذين يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم
Good.
ثم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله ليشتروا به
به
ثمنا قليلا.
So there's a full stop here. So how would I do waqf? I need to do waqf because there is a full stop here. So do you know how to do that? It's okay if you don't.
Lil.
So, okay, in this case, what would happen is because the letter before the mud letter has a tanween, okay? So that means it has two strokes, yeah? It's not just a fatha. So, so instead of using both strokes, what you'll do is you'll take one stroke. So that means you will imagine there's only one fatha and make it long. So, how it would be said is qalila.
Qalila.
Good. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Just a few other things that I wanted to point out are yaqu. There is a vowel. A vowel is a mud letter here because the letter before the vowel has a dhamma. Therefore, this vowel has become a vowel mud. Okay. So that means you make this long for 2 seconds. So it should be yaqu. Okay.
Yaqu.
Same thing here. This is an alif mud, and I know this because I look at the letter before, which is a dal. But the important thing is that I have to look at the sign, and the sign is a fatha. And if the sign is a fatha, that means this alif becomes an alif mud, and therefore I make the dal sound long for 2 seconds. So how I would say it is hada.
Hada.
Good. Another thing here, the lam here has a vertical fatha, which means again you prolong it for 2 seconds. So ayadillahi.
Indillahi.
Very good. So you just make the lam sound 2 seconds long. So well done. Continue from here. From here.
Fawai.
Yeah.
Fawailulahum. Lahum mimma katabat aydihim wa wailulahum hum mimma
yaksibun.
Good, well done. Do you want to have a go at the next line as well? The next verse?
I have a sister. She hasn't had a go.
Okay, you can give it to your sister. Can you give it to your sister and tell her to please let us know her ID?
N1223.
1223. Okay. Do you want to start from here?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقالوا لن تمسنا تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودة.
Duda. Good. Just quickly one thing. This is a vowel mud here. Can you see here?
Yeah.
And that means you make this lam sound long for 2 seconds. So وقالوا.
وقالوا.
Good. Tamassa, but you realized yourself, I think you didn't realize that this had a fatha, so but you realized that yourself. Again here there is a vowel mud, okay? I know that this is a vowel mud because what you have to do to identify whether this is a vowel mud is you look at the letter before, okay? If that letter carries a dhamma, okay, this sign here, then this vowel becomes a mud letter. That means you make this dal sound long. So mamaqduda. Okay?
Yeah.
So you make it long for 2 seconds. Duda. Yeah? Good. Do you want to continue from here?
قل أتخذتم عند الله عهدا
Yeah.
فلن يخلف الله عهده
أم تقولوا
على الله ما لا تعلمون.
Yeah. ما لا تعلمون. So lam needs to be long against this alif, yeah? Alif mud, okay?
Yeah.
Jazakallah, everyone. Before we finish off with the finishing prayer, and until then, can discipline in charge find a student or be ready with the student, and then I'll quickly give a few reminders. One, that tomorrow is the final concluding session. This is an announcement for your parents that some parents will be given the mic. They will be selected randomly. So if parents have any comments, remarks, or suggestions, be ready. If you are selected, then you can give them live during the lesson. So, but remember, tomorrow the lesson will be from 7 to 8, okay? So it will be with the G2 class from 7 to 8, and the ID for that is 415119729. That's the ID to join tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the final concluding session. And the password is the same password that you lot use for when you enter this the G1 class, okay? So remember, tomorrow from 7 to 8 with with the ID. I'll repeat it once more. That's 415119729, okay? If I can have the students to help me with this finishing prayer.
Yeah, the next student is A1111.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
Should I choose a different one?
Yes, please.
I think he came back. Okay, next student is A1125.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Can you quickly do this finishing prayer?
Allahumma arhamni bil Quran al-Azim.
And the translation from yourself?
Allah have mercy on me with the great Quran.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Assalamualaikum.